Yes, Mayor, this is Zoe Burgess, your city clerk. This regular city council meeting of July 11, 2023 is being held with a quorum of City of Westlake Council physically in attendance at the Westlake Council Chambers, 4005 Seminole Pratt Whitney Road. Public comments may be accepted prior to the meeting utilizing the electronic comment card available on the city's website. Public comments are also permitted at the appropriate time. The mayor will call for such during public comment, and you may participate at this time utilizing the system's virtual hand feature and waiting to be acknowledged. Please note this meeting is being recorded, both voice and video, and to remember your mic may be live. I will mute any microphones that carry any feedback or interruptions. If you are a caller that has been muted, you may unmute yourself by pressing *6. Any person in the virtual meeting causing a disruption or being inappropriate will be removed. If I may also remind those physically in attendance, please utilize microphones so that the virtual audience and a clear recording of the meeting is produced. Thank you, Mayor O'Connor.
Thank you, Clerk. I would like to call to order the regular City Council meeting of July 11, 2023 at 6:01 p.m. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Leonard.
Present.
Councilman Martinez.
Present.
Councilwoman Valladon.
Present.
Vice Mayor Langowski.
Present.
Mayor O'Connor.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Excellent. Let's stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Seated. Are there any additions, deletions, or modifications of the agenda? If none, may I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion by Vice Mayor Langowski, seconded by Councilwoman Leonard. Roll call. Councilwoman Leonard.
Yes.
Councilman Martinez.
Yes.
Councilwoman Valladon.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Langowski.
Yes.
Mayor O'Connor.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Public comments. This section of the agenda allows for comments from the public to speak. Each speaker will be given a total of 3 minutes to comment. A public comment card should be completed and returned to the city clerk. When you are called to speak, please go to the podium or unmute your device, and prior to addressing the council, state your name and address for the record. Madam Clerk, do we have any public comment requests?
Mayor, I received no public comment cards prior to the meeting. We'll give the virtual audience a moment to raise their virtual hands. If you're a virtual caller that wishes to make a comment, please unmute your device, state your name and address. If you're a caller that's been muted, please press *6. We have no comments, Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Consent agenda. This section of the agenda consists of routine or administrative items that require final approval by the city council and may be approved in its entirety by a single motion. There will be no discussion of these items unless a council member requests such, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered on a future agenda. At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Vice Mayor Langowski, seconded by Councilwoman Leonard. Roll call. Councilman Martinez.
Yes.
Councilwoman Valladon.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Langowski.
Yes.
Mayor O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilwoman Leonard.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Presentations and proclamations. We have Ms. Levesky,
Close.
sorry, from the Palm Beach County Commission on Ethics to provide an annual overview. Please correct me.
My name is Gina Levesque.
Levesque.
Very close.
Very close.
Good evening. I am here today to speak to you about the Commission on Ethics and our goal to promote the public's trust in government. In 2010, the Commission on Ethics was established as a result of a grand jury recommendation in 2009, and I've been with the office since inception. We were created to provide oversight, transparency, accountability for over 12,000 elected officials, public employees, and advisory board members. We also have jurisdiction over lobbyists, principals, and employers of lobbyists, as well as vendors. Our commission is independent of any county or municipal government, and our commissioners are chosen by 5 independent groups from across the county. As you are aware, county government and every municipality in the county is subject to the ethics ordinances. The Code of Ethics is a 13-page document that creates a backstop to enhance public trust by ensuring that public officials and employees conduct themselves independently and impartially and do not use their offices for private gain. The key to successful ethics programs is education and prevention. Ongoing training, advisory opinions, and the establishment of a culture of ethics is our goal. The ethics programs are simply designed to further the public's trust in the government. The availability of our staff to train and to answer questions through our advisory opinions may also prevent ethical misconduct from becoming criminal misconduct. To date, we currently have 523 advisory opinions available on our website. While the commission has statutory authority as a quasi-judicial board, code enforcement board to issue letters of reprimand, letters of recommendation, and even fines of up to $500 per violation, our goal is to educate those under our jurisdiction to prevent violations before they occur. All of our advisory opinions, gift forms, voting conflict forms, and outside employment forms, as well as complaints, are available on our website under the databases tab. In closing, you're all doing a great job for the community. Please continue to do so and remember your solemn duty to consider the ethics of your actions and to ask first and act later. If anyone would like to speak to someone of our office, we're always available at 561-355-1915. And I am your liaison with our office, so you'll probably get to talk to me if you call in anyway. And that's all I have for you. Does anyone have any questions?
Thank you, Ms. Levesque. Well, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it would be important to mention that the city of Westlake voluntarily entered into
Yes.
an agreement with the ethics board because the actual ordinance existed prior to inception of the city. Correct?
Yes, I was out here for about 3 years before you guys finally
Right.
came under our jurisdiction. I came back and hammered at you for about 3 years until you finally succumbed to my wares.
We voluntarily came in and said, please make sure we're all on the up and up. So I'm glad. Does anybody have any questions from Ms. Little?
If I
Mr.
could,
Attorney?
yes, ma'am. If one member of the council approaches me on a question under the Code of Ethics, am I afforded the opportunity to contact you for that discussion?
Absolutely.
Or would I direct my clients to contact you directly?
Either way,
Okay,
you can do it on their behalf. They can do it directly. We won't answer phone questions on the phone just because we don't like to give out advice on the phone because it may come back and bite us or you.
thank you.
Great question. Any other questions?
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thank
for
you.
coming in. We have a proclamation, 2023-05 for Habitat for Humanity, sponsored by Councilwoman Leonard. And we've got representatives from Habitat for Humanity here to accept the proclamation. So, here we are.
Thank you.
Proclaim. Go. All right. Proclamation, National Home Ownership Month. Whereas home ownership is defined as an individual owning a home in which they live, allowing them to become a permanent member of the community and having an investment to pass down to future generations. Whereas Habitat for Humanity of Greater Palm Beach County offers programs to increase home ownership and affordable housing opportunities to residents of Palm Beach County. And whereas Habitat for Humanity of Greater Palm Beach County encourages home ownership and promotes the accessibility of quality, affordable housing as a vital aspect of maintaining a robust, stable community. And whereas Habitat for Humanity of Greater Palm Beach County acknowledges that home ownership plays a critical role in strengthening families as a pathway to self-sufficiency, improved health, and quality of life. And whereas Habitat for Humanity of Greater Palm Beach County offers homeowners educational programs which give families the tools and information that can improve their financial future. And whereas Habitat for Humanity of Greater Palm Beach County maintains active partnerships with financial institutions, social service agencies, businesses, community housing providers, and others to enhance a commitment to successful communal actions to increase the prospects of ensuring affordable housing obtainability. Whereas White's Construction Academy at Seminole Ridge High School is a certified National Career Academy Coalition program designed for students seeking a career in the construction industry upon graduation and for students desiring to obtain a post-secondary degree in construction-related fields. Partners with Habitat for Humanity of Greater Palm Beach County to build affordable homes and increase homeownership. And whereas White's Construction Academy at Seminole Ridge High School maintains active partnerships with business partners, donors, volunteers, professionals, contractors, subcontractors, and suppliers, providing training, mentoring, and resources to support and ensure the success of the program and to enhance the ability of students to contribute to their community. Be it further proclaimed by the city of Westlake that this proclamation is duly sealed, ribboned, and approved by the members of this council. Foregoing proclamation was sponsored by Councilwoman Charlotte Leonard, and upon unanimous consent of the council, the mayor declared the proclamation duly enacted.
Fantastic.
To sign. Okay.
Second, we can have the one.
Sure. That would be absolutely my pleasure. Meanwhile, Councilman Leonard, do you want to tell us a little bit about the program?
The CEO of the company, Jennifer Thomason, will be speaking.
Yes, I'll do that. I also have to.
Go to the mic.
I was fortunate enough to be there at Seminole Ridge when they were taking the home out of the back bays there. Man, it clears by like maybe an inch on each side, and it's absolutely beautiful.
Yes, thank you. And so glad to be here. And for all of the council members, the staff members for the city of Westlake, we're so thankful to have this proclamation. Habitat for Humanity of Greater Palm Beach County has been serving the community for over 30 years. I'm Jennifer Thomason. I'm the very proud CEO of this organization, and we are so proud to partner with families all throughout Palm Beach County that are basically trying to change the trajectory of their lives. And we afford them that opportunity by partnering with them while they invest their own time, talent, and treasure in order to attain homeownership. And part of that journey is those partner families volunteering 300 to 400 hours of their time building other people's homes, revitalizing homes, as well as about 75 hours of financial education so that we ensure that they are going to be successful in their home ownership journey. At the end of that journey, they are afforded a zero interest mortgage that is based on their income and not the market. And the families that we work with right now are 30 to 80% below the average median income, which in Palm Beach County right now is $90,000. So these are folks that would not be able to attain home ownership if it wasn't for Habitat for Humanity. And we aren't able to do any of it without the support of municipalities, the county, donors, volunteers that all work together to make this a reality for our homeowners. So we're very excited to do what we do for the community and to have support from the community to enable us to continue to do that. So thank you very much for the proclamation.
That's fantastic. Thank you. All right. That's cool. That may have been one of my favorite proclamations. Yeah. All right. New business. We have before us resolution. We have before us Resolution 2023-16, the fourth addendum to the law enforcement agreement. City Attorney, read by title.
Yes, sir. Resolution by title only, resolution, City Council, City of Westlake, Florida, approving and authorizing the mayor and vice mayor to execute the fourth addendum to the law enforcement service agreement between the city of Westlake, the sheriff of Palm Beach County, Florida, providing for conflict, severability, and an
So how did
effective
you-
date.
City manager.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, you recall in the last budget, we had proposed to add 2 officers during this year. We added 1 already. We're adding the second one at this point in time, which would be the Fourth Amendment. When we're done, we will have a total of 7 officers, which basically gives us 2 officers 24 hours versus a single officer 24 hours now. Plus, we still have the same administrative staff of sergeants and lieutenants and captains above that.
Yeah, as our city grows, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think, was it June that was a record month for COs?
Yes,
So as our city
80,
grows,
86.
so does the necessity to have additional officers. Do we have any comments from the council?
No comment.
No? I need a motion.
I'll make a motion
To adopt the resolution.
to adopt a resolution for the fourth addendum.
2023-16.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion by Vice Mayor Langowski, seconded by Councilman Martinez. Roll call, Councilwoman Bayadron.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Langowski.
Yes.
Mayor O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilwoman Leonard.
Yes.
Councilman Martinez.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you.
We have before us resolution 2023-17, which is the 5th addendum to the law enforcement agreement. City attorney, read by title.
Yes, sir. Resolution by title only, a resolution, City Council, City of Westlake, Florida, approving and authorizing the mayor and vice mayor to execute the 5th addendum to the law enforcement service agreement between the city of Westlake and the sheriff of Palm Beach County, Florida, providing for conflict, severability, and effective date.
City manager, why do we need a 5th addendum?
It sets the actual dollar amount for the year of October 1, 23 to September of 24, which is included in the total cost of all 7 officers.
And we're within the budget that we budgeted for?
Yes, sir.
Do we have any comments from council?
No comment.
Answer the question.
I need a motion.
Motion to approve resolution number 2023-17.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Bayadron, seconded by Councilman Martinez. Roll call, Vice Mayor Langowski.
Yes.
Mayor O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilwoman Leonard.
Yes.
Councilman Martinez.
Yes.
Councilwoman Bayadron.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
We have before us resolution 2023-15, adopting a proposed millage rate and setting a date, time, and place for the first budget hearing. City attorney, read by title.
Resolution by title only, a resolution of City Council, City of Westlake, Florida, adopting a proposed millage rate for the city's general operating fund for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2023, and ending September 20th, 2020, September
30th.
30th, 2024, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
City manager.
Yes.
Discussion.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. This resolution is necessary to be enacted at this time to get it to the county. It's our high level mark of our millage rate. It needs to be into them, and it sets our first public hearing date as 5th of September, 2023 at 6 PM.
Comments from council. I will go first. I would be remiss if I didn't say that I think we're putting the cart before, I know we have to do this now because of a timing situation, but we should have done a workshop prior to setting even the initial millage rate. And I'm hoping that next year we can do
I
that.
apologize for being out May and June.
This is true. You know, there are definitely some circumstances beyond all of our control that led to that, but I'm just hoping in the future we can make sure we do the budget workshop, even workshops ahead of even setting the preliminary millage rate. That being said, this is the high mark. It is staying what it is.
Yes, it is currently 5.1.
Setting it at the high mark of 5.1.
One. In the event
We've
as,
got a workshop. We've got time to workshop it
correct.
and 2 more hearings before it actually gets set.
Yes.
Do we have any comments from the rest of the council?
I agree with maybe multiple workshops in the future.
Any other comments?
No, and I think we have time to squeeze them in if we need to, if the one we have coming up isn't enough.
Yeah,
We-
I
we
mean,
have the
I
time.
think it's really important that you guys are at the budget workshop because it's probably one of the most important things that we can do on this council is set the millage rate for the city. So if you can't come to this next workshop, let's either set a different workshop date or set an additional workshop.
We can set any workshop dates that you choose between now and September 5th.
Okay.
So if you want to do, you know, a workshop prior to the next council meeting.
So why don't we
and
just
then-
change this workshop
That
date?
important that the entire council attend this one.
Yeah.
This budget hearing workshop is literally one of the most important things we do. Okay.
So should we just change this date
Let's
completely?
find let's find a time where we
Yeah.
can all be there.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Okay, who has the most complicated schedule?
Not me.
Well, do you want to do it do you want to do it at 5 prior to your 6 o'clock August meeting?
That would work for me.
What's the date of the August meeting?
Zoe?
The 8th?
First. August first.
August 1st, sorry.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes, I'm here too.
Let's do that. So we don't have a P and Z board meeting that have that meeting?
I don't believe we have any P and Z. We don't have any P and Z coming in, do we, Zoe?
Not that we're aware of just yet.
Tuesday.
Okay.
Is an hour enough time?
Should be. Should
You
be.
want to, you guys want to schedule for an hour and a half just in case? That way we don't have to.
We have our council meeting at 6. I don't think you can change that time.
No,
You have-
we should start at 4:30.
You start at 4:30.
I'm fine with that.
Start at 4:30.
Yeah,
You guys good with that?
that sounds good to me.
Okay.
Stretch our legs in between if
Yeah.
we need to?
We can do
Yeah.
that.
All right, let's do that. 4:30 then, and we'll cancel the budget workshop that
For
we
the
have
25th.
on the 25th.
Okay.
I just feel that strongly about this particular issue that
The budget that was presented in here is, there are some increases. Most of them are minimal in its particular areas. If everything comes in with the revenue projections and expense projections, we potentially at the end of 2024 would add about 300,000 to our fund balance.
understood.
That's how tight it is. Again, we have nothing to fall. We're the teenager that's going out of the house. I got 2 nickels in our pocket.
We're on our own 2 feet.
Yeah, in our own 2 feet. So,
You don't have Daddy Warbucks taking care of us.
yeah,
anymore.
we've been very careful in what we've had an increase. There is a additional person in the general government because we will be needing to add another body during the year. But other than that, everything else is basically covering what we have to cover.
Right. No, and then, the commercial we do have coming online, we're not actually gonna see that money.
We will not see that until 25. That, the Publix and those others that have come on as of January 1st, they'll hit the roll at full value, but we will not see that until our 25 budget.
Understood.
So our values will not be to what we have.
And this is why we need a full workshop, so we can go through it line by line and
Yep.
see what we can do.
Sounds great.
Great. Awesome. Great leadership, guys.
You said dates for that workshop now on August 11th?
Yeah.
August, yes,
First.
August 1st. August 1st, 4:30
PM. And then we have a regular council meeting immediately. So
There's no budget meeting next week?
No,
No, that's the
Kill
one
that,
we
'cause
just.
2 of our
yeah.
members weren't able to attend, and I really, really want everybody there.
First.
Okay, so back to the actual item. I do need a motion for 2023-15.
Motion to approve resolution 2023-15.
Second.
setting the millage rate at 5.1 mils and the first public hearing on 5 September of 2023 at 6 PM.
So moved.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch who seconded that motion.
Me.
Laura?
No,
Thank you.
seconded was Councilwoman Bayero.
But we have a motion by Councilman Martinez, seconded by Councilwoman Bayadron. Roll call. Mayor O'Connor,
Yes.
Councilwoman Leonard,
Yes.
Councilman Martinez,
Yes.
Councilwoman Bayadron,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Langowski.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
City Council comments. Councilwoman Leonard.
I just want to say, I think the 4th of July celebration was great. Hot, but really good. I enjoyed it. And so thank you to the planning committee and all they did to bring that event together for the city. So I think that's it.
Excellent.
We'll come back around. I'll see if I can get the good stuff. It caught me off guard.
Councilman Martinez.
Same as Charlotte, 4th of July was amazing. Thank you to the staff helping out. And just also that to our residents, it's extremely hot out. Stay hydrated, heat index, triple digits. So please stay hydrated.
Councilman Wyatt on.
So I wasn't here, but I heard so many good comments about 4th of July. The whole neighborhood, the whole city of Westlake was, even people from Loxahatchee at the hospital, they were commenting the great festivity that we did in Westlake. So congratulations.
Thank you. Mr. Vice Mayor.
Just a couple proclamation consensus ideas to bring
Yes.
to the council for the month, just to give the, or had time for Zoe to prepare if the council so desires. Proclamation for Patriots Day, which is the 22nd anniversary of 9/11. That'll be for September. Constitution Week is September.
Let's do one at a time.
Okay.
Patriots Day. I love it. Any objections to Patriots Day?
No,
No.
that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Locked in. What's the next one?
The next one is Constitution Week, which takes place this year, September 17th and 23rd.
Okay.
It's a week of, dedicating and honoring the Constitution of the United States.
I love that one too. Any objections to Constitution?
No
No.
objections.
Okay. So
Okay.
Let's lock that one in too.
For the month of October, this is for the, in conjunction with the Florida League of Cities, Florida City Government Week. Of city governments and municipalities throughout the state of Florida. That would take place October 16th through 22nd.
Any objections? Nope. All right.
And then the last one is Veterans Day, November 11th.
I sincerely hope there's no objections to Veterans Day.
I could have saved ones.
Great. I like them all.
Okay.
Fantastic. Any other comments, Mr. Vice Mayor?
Nope, that's it.
All right, my turn.
So the government week, can I just ask a question?
Sure.
Is that when we have the kids kind of write an article and we kind of,
We can
Highlight.
talk about that
Okay.
as
This was for just the actual proclamation.
okay, so that was just, okay. Because there's like a whole lot of events that kind of go with it that we can do with the schools, maybe?
Great.
Yeah, so.
the Florida League has their proclamation sample that we can tweak and edit, so we can look at that. This is just to get an idea if everybody's okay with it.
Yeah. Okay, very good.
All right. Fourth Fest. Wow. Wow. Fourth Fest was an epic success. And it would not have been a success if it wasn't for Zoe and Mary. Specifically, I want to single you two out because you absolutely poured your hearts and soul into Fourth Fest. And I was less neurotic than I was last year and a little more hands-off.
You were better almost on your
Than I
bed.
was.
You were good.
Last year, I was, distracted with other things and staff most definitely picked up the ball and ran with it. So Zoe and Mary, from the bottom of my heart, I want to tell you how much I appreciate it. And you guys completely crushed it. Ken, you and your team, phenomenal. And the SID staff and everybody who helped out, all those guys, it was hot.
Yeah.
It was hot out there. And we threw curveballs and we were throwing curveballs.
It was a little damp too.
Yeah,
Minor
it was
details.
hot, wet and muddy, but there wasn't a single thing that I needed at the last minute that you guys didn't come through for. So truly, I'll speak for the whole city and say thank you on behalf of
Good.
all the residents in Westlake. It's kind of behind the scenes secret sauce is what makes it what it is. And you guys are the real heroes who don't usually get the praise and the thanks. So I'm going to make sure you get it this go around. And not to mention our volunteers, especially those. They were out there at 7:30 in the morning and they didn't leave until after the fireworks at night. Talk about dehydration. Right.
Yeah. I want to say it's not just Westlake residents either, the whole Western community.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
So epic success, knocked it out of the park, and it was a blast, unintended. So Awesome. Palm Beach County Fire Rescue Response Time Reports. Do we have? Yes, hi.
Get those two people, please.
Yeah, I didn't
spoke.
skip you, did I?
we both spoke.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I got a little bit mark right next to their names. so.
Okay. We're around with us.
Maybe you need a snack.
Snickers time.
I get like that when I need a snack.
I love it.
Did you bring snacks? I could use that.
I'll remember that next time. So I'll give the response time report, but I also wanted to follow up. I believe it was your question at the last meeting that I attended in regards to an extended delayed turnout time. And you are correct. It was a significantly extended delayed turnout time, excuse me. And there were a couple reasons for that. The crew did think that the gate had click to enter. That gate does not have click to enter on it. And it took them, unfortunately, a significant amount of time to realize that the Knox key was on the other side. So they were trying to get in the resident side when the Knox is on the guest side. So a couple of good things did come out of that, though. We did discover that that community center, the clubhouse where the courts are, did not have an address for that location in the CAD community,
It's been changed.
computer aided dispatch. Maybe my sugar is low.
Um,
So there is now an address for that community center and that clubhouse where the courts are. So that was added. And also a note has been added to anybody responding to those gates that if the click to enter is not working or not on that gate, that the Knox switch or key is on the guest side. So they know to not waste time going to the resident side. So we did have a fire safety inspector come out here on the 12th of June, and she tested every gate. The ones that she couldn't check were the ones that are still open for construction. So once construction is complete, we can follow up and can check those gates as well. But there's 3 communities so far that do not have click to enter on them. It's Groves, Estates, and Crestwinds was one of them. And that's where that call took place, was in Crestwinds. So very unfortunate, but something good did come out of it. It was unfortunate for the patient. She had to wait a little bit longer. Thankfully, it was not, a cardiac arrest or anything like that. So at least now we have it flagged in the system. We've confirmed what click to enter gates there are, and there's a note for the crews to enter on the
And I
guest
can-
side for
and I can
Knox.
help move the needle with Groves and Estates because it's the same property manager.
Oh, okay,
So
good.
I'll make sure that those get click to enter.
Yes, and everybody was extremely responsive. We communicated with the property manager and the gate company and our dispatch communications center, the fire marshal's office, everybody. So just wanted to follow up and make sure that, and I did speak with Councilman Martinez to give him a follow-up as well after.
Sorry, isn't it statute that says it has to have click to enter?
Yes, any new communities, which this is a newer community, needs to have the click to enter.
When did that
Any-
get put into effect, do you know?
I believe is October of last year.
Yeah, it's close.
It's been almost 2
Okay,
years.
So
Yeah.
from the city perspective, I mean, can we send code enforcement out and say, look, you guys aren't within,
Yeah.
let's do that? Okay, thanks.
Okay, so those are 3, Groves, Estates, and Crestwinds. So
Got it.
that would help us as well.
Absolutely.
For 4th of July, I heard it was a great success. We had the reserves out here as a medical unit. We also had Engine 22 on standby during the fireworks display, and Truck 29 was here to fly the flag, albeit they were a little bit late. You have to remember,
It's right on time. We worked it out.
okay. They are subject to call
That
until
was
they
a
get
little
here.
less neurotic, not a lot less neurotic.
I got the mayor calmed down when the truck rolled in, so we're good.
Yes, so they are subject to call, and that truck 29 comes all the way from Belvedere and 441. So they have a little bit of a travel distance, but if a call drops close to where they are and they're on the road and they can get there faster than another unit, dispatch puts them on it. So unfortunately, that takes precedence over the flag. So, but I'm glad that it worked out. All right, so the turnout times for June. You had 23 medical calls in the community, 8 alarms, 3 investigations or public assists, 2 interfacility transports, and 1 residential structure fire. It wasn't actually a structure fire. It came in as a residential structure fire, so you had a full response. However, when the first arriving crews came on scene, they found that it was a cardboard pizza box in the oven that had caught fire. So it was contained, it was in the oven, and it was
totally de-escalated. So not really a structure fire, but that's what it is. You know what? Summertime, probably so.
Yes.
We have an average response time of 41 seconds, an average, turnout time or dispatch to the truck, 49 seconds. Overall travel time, 6 minutes and 24 seconds for an overall turnout time of 7 minutes and 54 seconds. That seems a little bit delayed from the past months, and so I went through and I checked, and when 22 is out, you have to get another from 21, which is on Okeechobee, east of Seminole Pratt. So it takes them a bit of time to get here. And that was engine 21 that came for that fall on the pickleball court. And then this one that was delayed was from station 26. So they're coming from quite a distance. So, but not terrible, but any questions?
26 is one and.
Avocado. Yep, correct. Yes.
So they've got about 9 miles to get here.
Yeah.
Quick question. Is that for a lack of, is there not enough staffing or vehicles?
No, there's,
Okay.
no, it's just the way, I mean, there's a lot of acreage and a lot of miles in between, but it's per resident, there's acreage, people own acreage, so there's space. And then we do have a lot of concerns in Indian Trails Improvement District area with the dirt roads and the canals and the speed bumps and things like that. So when those things are put in place, there's additional obstacles and it takes time. We try to address those things with them as well.
When 60th is built, it'll be easier to get from avocado.
Right.
Correct. It will. Mhm. Any other questions?
Anyone? I
Okay,
just want to thank you for all you do.
thank you. I appreciate it. I'm trying. Like I said, you got me maybe next 5 to 8 years. After that, I don't know who you're
Well,
gonna
and the
get.
team. You and the team. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I see LT back there, even though he's not on my my list here, so you're not gonna.
Good to see everyone.
Great to see you.
Lieutenant Robert DiMarzo, Executive Officer, District 15, 17, and 18. Yeah, Fourth Fest was a success again, which is great. We had no reported incidents. Sergeant Goudreau and his crew, I heard, did a great job. I wasn't present, but I know a lot of my personal friends that don't even live in Westlake went to the event. So good job to everybody. I think the second year was a lot easier than last year. We had a pre-plan. Everything was pretty much set in place on our end. So that was awesome. The monthly report for June of 2023, we had a total of 3,068 CAD calls. Of that, 259 are self-initiated. That would be like traffic stops and business checks. I'm sorry, like 259 were calls for service. The rest of them, 2,718 self-initiated business checks and 91 traffic stops. So those are self-initiated. There were 71 written warnings, 22 verbal warnings, and 36 citations. For crime, there was only property crime, 1 construction burglary, 2 thefts, and 1 vandalism. So that's good that personal crimes are down. Actually, I was looking at the year to date. The crimes everything's down from last year, and as you grow, that's a good sign that things are staying down. Construction is on the same line as last year. Those will all go away once everything's built up. But we got vehicle burglaries are down 78%. Thefts are up. A lot of it stems from could be the school. We got some retail stores and stuff like that. So that those go up. Package, a lot of delivery packages sometimes get stolen, stuff like that. But since we're going to be getting another deputy, which is great, we're up 54% in calls for service. So that excludes self-initiated stuff. So that's only going to get more and more as you guys grow. So having another deputy is going to be great. And we plan on having that deputy basically cover afternoon into like midnight. So it's kind of like an overlap. So you might even have 3 people on at one time out here. So
Let's see, I don't want to put you on the spot.
sure.
What would be your opinion on a motor unit for Westlake?
I like that you asked that question because we have a deputy out here who's currently in motor school, and he writes and stops probably most of the traffic violators out here in Westlake. And I I've been kind of thinking about that. I think it's good PR. I think it's just to have your own, I think, our contracts that have them are Green Acres, Lake Park. Who else has, Lake Worth has their own. Those are our city contracts that have,
Right.
I think it's a good idea. I mean, you almost, if this guy can pass the motor school, all you gotta do is buy him a bike.
And he knows Westlake and
And he's here already, so you don't have to add another deputy. You just have to buy him a bike.
so
What's the advantage of the?
So, I mean, it would be traffic stuff.
it's a huge impact on traffic.
Yeah.
Huge. You can't see them,
Mhm.
first of all.
Yeah.
So we can catch the violators that are major violators without
Right.
being spotted. But just, you know, you can tell.
I mean, he's doing traffic a lot now, but their cars do stick out, and most of the stuff he's doing is on Seminole Pratt probably. But
maybe ahead of this budget conversation we're about to have, you can get us some info.
yeah, on
If
bike
we can't
costs.
Pull it off for this year. Maybe we can pull it off for next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Write
I
that
didn't know
down.
that's how it works. So the individual cities buy the bike.
Yeah, so every city has a contract, and that could be something in the contract. You can work it as, well, you pay for the bike and the deputies here. Green Acres, they pay for two motormen in Green Acres. I'm not sure about Lake Worth, at least one in Lake Park, but maybe two in Lake Park. But they actually pay for a motor deputy. I don't think you would have to do that here. It would probably be more or less getting the equipment.
So since we already have the officer, it's just the bike, and then
And it gets wrapped into the contract somehow.
Yeah, I mean, we could find out. I'll find out how much a new bike costs, how much it is to outfit.
Yeah.
Because, out of the budget, we're already paying for calibrations for lasers and radars. And, so we're already paying for that. So that's the only equipment they really have on it, except for it's a motorcycle. So they get a motorcycle and they get a mark unit when it's bad weather or whatever like that. So, but they already have the car that's
Right.
already there. It would just be the bike
okay.
and the uniform.
Fantastic.
I like the idea, especially with a growing city and
I think we need it.
very proactive city, pro law enforcement. So I think it's cool. I like that. I like the ask that because I've been thinking about that.
You and me
And
both.
now that he's in that class, I'm like, I don't know if you know who Deputy Turner is. Have you guys met him before?
Of course.
Yeah, he's in that class right now. I don't know how he's doing it because it's hot, but he should be finishing up in a week or two. So hopefully he passes one of the hardest classes in law enforcement to take. So
Well, keep us posted.
yeah, I will.
Thank you. Any other questions for LT?
I had a quick question. Does PBSO also use click to enter, or do they use a
No.
totally different system on getting into the gates?
We have click to enter for some of our gates. I think we do have some for Westlake. I'm not 100% on that. I think we do.
Their deputies actually also have little
Okay.
remotes.
Yes,
My
we have
question is like,
remotes.
something's happening, how do you get in?
We have remotes.
They have
Yeah,
remotes.
yeah, they're getting in. Yep,
And most of the gates are lights and sirens too, right? Like you could chirp.
I think so. Yeah,
Okay.
we haven't had any issues.
Getting in.
Yeah, I haven't heard of any response time issues. So if you guys hear that, just let me know. But I haven't heard. We shouldn't have any response time on our end here.
And the Westlake deputies also have their own code, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
like, they can't
And-
get in. They can.
And one of the things that was my understanding is they don't use the click to enter because if they use a click to enter, they got to change frequencies to get to a click to
That's
enter. And
They
they
can't
now
for
saying,
the
Right.
right. And I remember if they click, right, dispatch thinks they're in trouble. Like,
Right.
They click and don't say anything.
yeah,
The dispatcher's like,
Yeah.
what happened with this deputy? He clicked and he didn't say anything, like maybe he's in trouble.
We have like the garage clicker thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got confused on that. Yeah,
Okay.
that's okay. I understand what click to enter is now.
they have like.
Firefighters put into a certain station and then
Yeah,
click.
we don't have that. Yeah.
You could,
For each.
but it doesn't
We're
work
not-
out
yeah,
for you
they're
guys.
not
If your
gonna-
dispatch is wondering why you guys.
Right.
Saber on the.
Right. While it's clicking on the 10-4 check. So.
So to stay ahead of that, can we just get a deputy to go around to all the communities, give us a quick report before our next meeting, as well as the price for that motorcycle for the next one? Just stay ahead of any incident happening and maybe they come up on a gate that isn't working, whatever the case may be.
Absolutely. So a report on making sure that we're getting in the gates.
Yeah,
quickly.
I think that'd be
I
great.
mean, that's part of your patrolling anyway. So if you weren't be able to get in a gate, they would know.
Yeah, I haven't heard any issues, but I will definitely reach out and make sure there is none.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
So
Um, Great.
Was there any update on the tag?
LPR.
Are being, the group that we were working with before,
Switching to solar based.
became an issue. They had some data breaches issues, so we've abandoned them. I just got the information last week for the new LPR company. I've got to get the contract from them and get it to DJ to see how it works out for us. It's more of a lease type contract, but they maintain everything. And it's also solar and cellular, so that we don't have to worry about power. We can rearrange them into different locations.
Okay.
So we're looking at how to get that in. So it should be an easier install once we get the contract.
Great.
So I'm a firm believer in everything kind of happening for a reason.
I mean,
And it was a nightmare getting power to where they
Yeah,
wanted these cameras
right.
to go. And in the time it took for us not to get power there, that we were trying to get power there,
Technology change.
it changed the whole technology.
Yeah.
We didn't need the power anymore. So
It's a better
good
system.
thing we didn't spend the money on getting the power there.
right. And the breach.
Right.
Right.
The whole agency's going to the new company,
Right. That's great.
so.
Okay.
It's gonna be good.
We
Last-
gotta look
First I
at,
was annoyed we couldn't get power there, and now I'm happy we could.
Yeah.
well, and also with this, we gotta look at the, gotta look at the, in order for us to sign on to the contract, et cetera, I gotta look at the purchasing process that was in place and stuff and make sure that we fit the proper parameters so that we can bring them on board. We may have to do an RFP, we may have to do something in between, but until I get their contract and get some more information on their, how they were secured by PBSO and other entities.
Make
Okay.
sure that we're. Don't get it.
That's not fallen off the
Yeah, let's make
hooktop
sure.
yet.
Excellent.
Great.
Any other questions for LT?
All right.
Thank you. Lieutenant
Thank you.
Palazzo. Mr. City Attorney.
Yes, sir. Two matters I'd like to bring to your attention this evening. I've given you a memorandum regarding the golf carts and the new law. That's prompted me to review the golf cart ordinance in greater scrutiny. I'm going to be working with staff. I think we need to revise it,
Sure.
bring it into current status of law. For example, we require registration. I'm of the opinion state law doesn't allow us to require it.
Really?
Right, so I've talked to the city manager. We're going to work on that, but it'll be bringing it forward,
Okay.
not next month, maybe month after.
Fair.
Second item is, and I've had a conversation with Council Member Leonard regarding the school advisory board
Right.
and the meetings and the ordinance requires it to meet quarterly, but we're not having any basis or reason to meet that I am aware of that warrants the meeting. And also just a report on the Art and Public Places Board. You have two boards governed by your ordinance. So if there's any discussion, any reconsideration of these ordinances regarding the board, please let me know.
Well, I mean, it sounds like what you're saying is we've got committees that by law are required to meet certain times throughout the year, and sometimes we have no new business for them.
That's true with the
Education.
Education Youth Advisory Board. Yes,
So possibly it can be the direction from the council to take a look at both of the ordinance that create these committees and the laws that the committees operate under to see if they need to be tweaked.
well, exactly. I mean,
So yes,
you've created them, but now you're in a more operative stage. You've got more development. I mean, the Art and Public Places ordinance doesn't require a meeting. It requires that a developer submit based on the project artwork.
correct.
So the committee the board, being advisory, would review that and make recommendations to city council.
Right, and our which is the orange,
Yes.
I thought was incredible. And that went before the committee recommended it to the council.
Right.
So I mean, it's my opinion that committee's doing its intent.
Correct. And we will have more as the north half of Publix comes in with that submission.
Sure.
The bank comes in and a couple other ones that are out there pending. start coming.
I'm not sure what the youth advisory board is. If there's anything tangible or what's going on with that, but if the ordinance needs to be tweaked for it to be more effective.
Well, I'd have to seek direction from you.
Well, that's what that's what I think we're talking about right now is let it be the direction of the council. If everybody agrees with me, maybe staff and yourself can take a look at it to see if it needs to be
Yes, sir, we can do
more
that.
efficient of an ordinance, perhaps is the term.
From the manager's perspective, I'm not sure the education committee is worthwhile or viable at this point in time. I think we can do interactions with the schools that are within Westlake through the manager's office and the principals, giving a list of types of events and stuff that they have or would like us to partner with, you know, at the beginning of the year kind of thing, like what
Right.
which we did with the graduation. You say, hey, we got graduation. Do y'all want to help with the graduation thing? We did the reading at the middle and elementary school.
Right.
We contributed.
So
Rather than
the
having a
intent is there, but it's not fulfilling the intent.
Correct.
The intent is to help bridge the gap between government and education.
Right.
And it's not, I mean, it's up to the rest of the council, but if,
So it was created initially before there was,
It was created as a
Katrina's
potential,
baby,
it was-
it was Councilwoman
as an
Wong
out-
since,
as an outreach and stuff. So they,
you know, she's an educator.
Mhm.
She wanted to have outreach between government and schools. But, I mean, I haven't really seen anything tangible. I think at one point they gave away backpacks,
yes.
that they got Winto to sponsor. But that was over 2 years ago, maybe, and I don't think I've seen anything productive come from that committee since. I'm not bashing them, don't get me wrong. I don't know if it's for lack of trying. I don't know if it's lack of organization. I don't know if it's lack of leadership.
There's definitely like structure to
Yeah.
what, because there's things you could do with the school,
Yeah.
but is it just it's not formatted, it's not outlined? I'm just
Yeah.
trying to understand. where-
I took over what Katrina was doing and I continue giving the backpacks, but we didn't have to do a committee for that. I just went to the schools
Right.
and I give the backpacks and I spoke to the principal. It was not a committee.
Are you on that committee, Anita? Ms. Kaplan, can you come up to the podium and state your name and record and?
We need it.
Anita Kaplan, 5459 Santa Rosa Lane, Crestwood.
What's your opinion on your?
I think there are things that can be done. But I don't believe that there are things that can or should be done by one person. But aside from that, they don't meet. There's no meetings going on, you know. I'm anxious to do things. And I don't know how to get them done because I guess I fall under the same sunshine laws that you do. So I can't really call people up and say, hey, what's happening, you know?
Yeah. and-
I'm not the president or the second on that committee, so I'm stuck between a rock and a hard
So
place. Yeah.
our volunteer-driven events committee operates as an ad hoc committee. And they have the ability for the events to communicate and so on and so forth, because it's not a full-blown committee, so it's
It's not
not governed.
advice, it's not
It's
advising.
not advisory, right? It's not governed by sunshine. It's just volunteers working together for a cause, a better cause. What is the, especially legal's opinion on having some form of a educational outreach ad hoc committee to where they can actually get things done by being able to communicate,
And work with the city manager.
maybe work with the city manager or one of the, you know, there could be a liaison from the council, but also city manager or staff. But at least it would allow them to phone and call each other and
That's
say, hey, we want to organize a backpack drive, or we want to try to get the mayor an intern.
Or do government week or whatever.
Something, you know, like.
And yeah, that's what happened to me. I couldn't communicate with nobody in the council. I did it with Ken.
You still can't communicate with anybody on the council. but you can
Exactly.
with Staff,
Only
you can
Ken.
with volunteers,
Exactly.
but and they would be able to communicate with each other if it's an ad hoc committee. What's legal's opinion on that?
Well, if your committee members are volunteers anyway, they're just appointed. The legal threshold for sunshine law is recommendations. Advisory boards make recommendations to the governing body. So if you're advocating that they would operate without direction or supervision in the city and would not make recommendations, then you can pursue that.
I think the intent is we want a group to be able to help further education in the community and do some good for schools and educational institutes.
May I interrupt?
Sure,
At that point,
please.
you used the word, it was plural. I have legal concerns about a city board committee operating outside the municipal boundaries.
We only have one school.
No, we
Yeah,
have three.
Well, we don't have the, school that's being developed.
No, Western Pines
Middle one.
is in
Little
Westlake
Rose Western
proper.
Piper is.
Seminole Ridge is in Westlake
Well, yeah,
proper.
that's, yes, I knew that one.
So, and then
And we have another elementary school that's gonna be built.
No,
No,
Western
there's already
Pines
one.
right now, and
No, one's right here by,
Oh, that'll be the fourth.
before.
so we have 3 schools in what I call Westlake proper within our actual boundaries. We want to be able to help them out.
And I'd like to continue the collaboration with the college. We've got a college right in our backyard in Loxahatchee Groves.
Dr. Kaplan's the former dean of,
But that's in another city.
Right.
correct, but it is.
I want to
the-
make that
it is
very
the state
clear.
college
I
that
know there's
our
been an issue with this board,
residents would go to.
but I want to make it very clear so there's no ambiguity. Your board can only work within the municipal boundaries. I understand the desire of other individuals wishing to collaborate with other higher learning institutes, but respectfully, your boards have to dwell on Westlake schools.
So their recommendations need to impact the schools that sit in the boundaries of the.
Your
city of
residents, right, and I understand residents go to other schools, but you don't have, you don't want
It's
another
a state
municipality.
college and that our residents will go to.
Correct.
I mean, we've got a
That's what it's-
proclamation next month celebrating that college that we're going to proclaim, I'm going to proclaim
But
from
it's-
this dais.
Well, then you could do that at the University of Florida, Florida State, Miami, Central Florida.
We
It's-
could, Except this is Palm Beach.
It's-
So I think
State
he's saying the
College.
advisory board can only make recommendations to us about the schools
In its
in our
current,
city.
in its current capacity. So that's my
Correct.
question. Is there another way of forming? Let's not call it an advisory board. Like, is there something else that we can form that can do some good for education in the Western
And they can
communities?
all collaborate and work together.
You know, I think the other thing that kind of concerns me is that we have a new member who I met once at the one meeting I think that we had all year, who is kind of enthusiastic, but the other members just don't show up. So how long do we keep those committees or advisory
No, we
boards
don't.
like
We
they
don't.
are? I don't know if they were called something different, there'd be that much more enthusiasm, frankly. So I think maybe we need a little new blood.
Well, and I think we need to disband the committee in its current formation, configuration,
Has to be that
and have something else that'll give you guys a little more latitude, but maybe not call it an advisory board, maybe call
Yes,
it a
sir.
volunteer organization. I don't know, like.
Your ad hoc committee could work, but
Okay.
again, you're not making appointments.
Right.
Keep that in mind. You're,
Fair,
It's
yeah,
just a group of people.
which is even better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then you can
it
solicit
doesn't,
people who want to be involved.
Recruit.
yeah,
You can
it affords individuals on this ad hoc committee more latitude.
Yeah.
That sounds
That,
perfect.
and I think that's what we need.
But you know what I think would also be helpful is why couldn't we make, even if it's not a standard committee like the council, is it possible to put in the minutes any report out from the committee about what it's doing?
Of course.
That's an,
Why not?
I would be careful. We'd have to take a look. I'll look at that. Again, I don't want to have problems with the sunshine. I don't want,
No, I understand. So let me,
Yeah,
good
so
intention,
make
like,
them-
let's
take
say
them out.
Habitat for
Take them out
Humanity
of
was
sunshine.
operating within Westlake for something great that they did, like build a house out of the school. And they came and gave us a presentation on this collaborative effort to build a house in a school. That would end up in our minutes.
Right, but that's a separate organization.
That's what I'm talking about trying to form.
Okay. If you
But
get,
how is this any different? And I'm naive on this, so
Me
I
too.
may be,
That's
I may
why
be off
please
base.
forgive my advance.
But when we do like the 4th of July and we invite everybody, not just Westlake people, is that some kind of a challenge also?
you asking me?
Yes.
No, ma'am, it's not, because you can't be exclusive. It's like a park. Consider a park. The city operates a park. It's not limited to residents. So if the city has a function, you can't limit it to just residents. You can't discriminate.
Which I never would.
The advisor, what he's saying is the advisory committee has more rules and regulations over it because it's acting on behalf of the city.
The way it's organized now.
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
So
The other, correct me if I'm wrong, DJ, but the ad hoc committee could feed stuff back to the board, to the council through the manager's office, like, hey, here's what's going on. Here's the things that are happening out there. You know, here's a list of things that they're looking at. Are any of these of interest that you want to participate in and go forward?
And you can bring it up at the
I think
second.
an ad hoc committee can select one volunteer to come and update us on what's going on.
Yes.
Yes, yes, sir.
And they could even do it during public comment.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
That would work. Yes.
That sounds like a better idea to me.
So I'm gonna be bold here. Okay?
Later for the.
I didn't mean to start any trouble.
No, I'm gonna be bold. I want to get some consensus from council. But I think we need to, and tell me what legally needs to require to do this, but I think we need to dissolve the current Education Youth Advisory Board,
Sunset, yeah.
sunsetting it, that's what the term?
I think that's what it's called.
Well,
Sunset, where it just,
I think you'd pass an ordinance
Okay. So,
revoking.
so I'd like to
The
correct,
ordinance,
I'd like.
creating
Well, I'd like to see whatever the guidelines are. Can we like bring it back to next month
Oh, yeah.
and then we,
We can do whatever we
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
okay,
Uh,
so we can
I'd like
know
to
what we're talking about.
consider dissolving the current Youth Advisory Board. And then I would like to encourage Dr. Kaplan, I would like to encourage Dr. Kaplan to perhaps form a volunteer organization ad hoc. And I think the city would be very receptive to listening to an organization of that stature
Then
to
you can
help
register
try to
with
do
it.
some good on behalf of education in the western communities.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And I would love an intern. I'm just throwing that out. That'd be nice. Excellent.
Good job, well done. Like how you.
Um,
put it all up in
Was there
front of
anything else, Mr. City Attorney?
No, sir, I've said enough.
Mr. City Manager, any updates, comments?
Just one thing, one of the things that you and I had discussed on the 4th, and I think we need to consider for the council is the 3 to 9 o'clock scenario for the 4th Fest is a little long.
Oh, it's
I'm
incredibly
thinking
long. It's way too long.
with the heat and stuff that maybe we look at in next year, starting it at 5,
I
not
agree.
only with food trucks, music, the whole thing just kicks off at 5 and a whole event
I
happens
think you're right.
at one shot, 5 to 9,
I think 5
plenty
to
of
9,
hours.
It's less heat, it's less everything. I
Yeah.
think 3 to 9 is long. It's a-
Because again, although we had a number of people coming through all afternoon from 3 o'clock on, the real rush started about 7:45.
Mhm, Sure.
Then everybody packed the place, not only for music, but for the fireworks itself. So looking at the vendors and everything, I think we could get a potential better bang for them of really concentrating the food at a quote food time, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock kind of a scenario.
Yeah.
So I just
Sure.
throw that out for you.
Yeah, I didn't know that needed to be direction from council, but I agree 1,000%. I think 5 to 9 is the right move.
And just, I think we can do it on a consensus. It doesn't have to be a formal vote.
Great.
But I think that that's the motion we need to go to. This year, the event was 211, I think. No, it was a little less than that. It was nope. I have it here somewhere. Yeah, it was 211 Our total expenses were 211,992.
Wow.
We recovered about 35,000 in sponsorships. So that was 177 outlay of our budget.
Right.
And that's why our next year's budget is at 250 as you look at the thing. Because again, unless we are able to step up the sponsorships, that over time, sponsorships after the first one, they will decline. So keeping that level of sponsorships more difficult. So we need to figure out that if we're going to continue on the scale that we're doing, that yes, we're budgeting it and it's there, but
That's actually
if we can come in.
a great point. I briefly spoke with somebody that all they do is municipal sponsorships. In fact, you just reminded me I was supposed to call them back. But perhaps we can consider bringing in like a specialist because, yeah, we raised 90-some thousand dollars last year.
Yeah.
But that was also me, which I just didn't have the resources and the time. And
Right.
there's a lot of things going on this year, and I couldn't pound the pavement for those sponsorship
Well,
dollars.
and some of the,
And I'm sad to admit, but I left a lot of money on the table just because I didn't have the time.
well, and some of the organizations, for example, the Publixes and the others, they are thinking budgeting, a year, 2 years in
Sure.
advance. So we need to kind of really rattle them and get into their cycle. But they're not going to be a large sponsor
You
per
should
se.
start now for
Yes.
next year, but I mean, there are people like FPU who were like, send me the envelope,
Yeah.
send it to me, we're ready to, and I didn't follow through because I was doing a million other things. As we grow, so is my,
Well, part of the, I guess we'll tip my hand too much. Part of the dollars that are in that for that extra person is basically an event coordinator
okay.
type position that will handle the event coordination because otherwise my clerk may have a revolt on my hands. But we're looking at that because then that person can help coordinate. And if we have somebody that's looking for sponsorships, that person can coordinate with the sponsorship person
Right,
to make things happen better.
okay.
So those kind of where we're going. The other thing that I have is I've had a discussion with the city attorney and looked at his current rates and compared them with a number of other current rates that I know I have in other districts and other cities and stuff. And I'm going to recommend that we increase his hourly rate from the 250 to 300. We'll bring back a approval for it at the next meeting. And we've been averaging now around, we were 12 to 14,000. We're down about $8,000 to $9,000 a month right now. So compared to where we were at like 38 or $40,000 a couple of years ago, we're getting extreme service from the firm, and I fully recommend it that be the going rate.
I don't have a problem with that.
So we'll
Part of the
bring it.
budget conversation, but yeah, bring it.
Yeah, it's calculated in the budget, and it's we'll bring it back at the next meeting for approval.
Fantastic.
And yes, it was hot and muddy, but we did have a good time.
We did have a wonderful event.
And that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. City Manager. Any questions for Ken?
I have a question, Ken. How's the Happy program looking?
We are actually in the process of looking at some modifications to the Happy program. We've had some discussions with Councilman Leonard, DJ, Catherine Rossmell, with Lewis Longman and Walker about looking at our Happy program and making it tie closer to the state heroes, hometown heroes program, which expands the potential of who is eligible for it. It also rework some of the income caps and other things that we're dealing with, because that's really the issue right now that we're dealing with is we have the dollars to really help people, but I can't because of the parameters that we're
The
operating.
biggest issue is Happy is the cap on the cost of the home.
Right.
That's the biggest issue. Because we only have one or two items, if that are eligible under the current
Right.
parameters.
Right.
So I know we've got some lower cost townhomes coming. But that really is what the issue is. And we tethered it to FHA. first-time buyers.
Right.
have.
We have the right guidelines, just we don't have the product to meet it.
Correct.
Correct, which means that we don't have the right guy.
Right, so we gotta,
We need to look at how we can modify the ordinance
I
to,
think we need a happy
Include.
workshop, to be honest.
I would love that. That would be amazing because we have, I can't imagine how much money is in it right now and we're having trouble
What?
giving it away.
2.5 million?
you're about 2.5.
We can't give it away.
Right. And that's,
Literally.
Yeah.
that's part of the thing is, but we're working on some initial legal things to get it to a point of what can we present back to you to say, hey, here's where we think we can go.
We can only talk about it at a workshop or a meeting.
Right.
Like, we can all only talk about it
Right.
at a workshop or a meeting, so maybe after budget.
Yeah.
We can actually schedule a happy
happy.
workshop and
Do you want to schedule it now? That way we don't make plans and it's even harder to
how
schedule?
about ahead of the September meeting?
I think
If we don't already have
we'll
a,
be ready for that. September.
or ahead of the October meeting.
Could I ask for the October meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because really, respectfully, a workshop, it's gonna, as the city manager indicates, it's gonna be legally driven. State statutes, meaning,
Sure.
we can entertain your direction, your concept, but we're gonna have to apply it to existing laws. So with everything else going on, I'd like to work with
Fair
Councilmember
enough.
Leonard, talk to Louis Longman, get their input, bring back to you a more finished product.
So ahead of the October meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Cool.
Are we saying an hour for that one before October?
I think. it's
Probably an hour would do.
fine. I don't
Yes,
think
sir.
we need that. But we definitely need to revamp that program, and we've been saying that for a very long time.
Well, we've done some minor tweaks, but.
We got a
if
couple
that-
more people in there, but
It's time to go back and really.
yeah, it needs major overhaul.
Yeah.
Wholesale. Because again, I don't want to be blamed like the county was sitting there with a whole bunch of money and can't
Right.
give it away to people that
And
really
that's
need it.
exactly what's happening.
I had a quick question for that. Is it possible, well, I don't know the timeline of Minto for the townhomes, but it'd be nice if we had that in place before they start selling, where people do come and they say, okay, well, you're eligible for this much now.
Well, the good news is the new townhomes
They fit into the
fit
parameter.
perfectly. under
But if there's
existing
more money or
parameters.
something, that's, if it goes with the state system's more money.
Well, the state system's more money. There's other things, but also there's some parameters that widen it, like we had already widened it, the discount to vets, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
So we're looking at all those aspects of how
Well,
do we,
And the
How
other
do
thing
we
we're
help
not doing is
those?
we're not promoting the program enough. A lot of people don't know about it.
Yeah.
So,
We talked about that as well.
you know, that's a big issue.
Right.
There should be
We've got the ordinance on the books.
Yeah.
How do we advocate the eligibility?
I mean, outside of going to like real estate conferences and, because if the realtors know, everybody will know, because it'll help them sell homes.
I imagine selling the new construction because everything used is obviously higher price than what they're buying new.
Right, resale.
So the sales center needs to be who we need to drill this
Once we
into.
get the new
well, the
guidelines, I
sales
think
cell
they'll
center
be
is
able to-
aware of it, but again, they may not be pushing.
Yeah.
The other thing is that had come up with, which I have not discussed with the attorney or anybody yet, but one of the potential options is partnering with something like a third-party entity like Tunnels to Towers, who does
Sure.
update smart homes. So what would our Happy program be able to do with a Tunnels to Tower purchase? Maybe we help pay for, offset the cost of the upgrades to the new home. that
Or
either
maybe
Minto
make
or
that an
somebody
element
sell-
of the program, one element of.
Of the program as a potential, I mean,
I don't
because those are
dislike
the
that
type
idea
things
at
I
all.
think
I
that you're
love that.
looking at is, you're looking at vets, you're looking at different things, you're looking at giving back and helping people to do things. Is it another expansion that we look at?
What actually governs the Happy program? Is it an ordinance?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So maybe something also to consider is working into the ordinance, the latitude for the council to partner with a Tunnel to Towers
That's what
If-
we would,
if it so chooses, like
Right.
if we find a cause that we want to support, it could be Tunnel to Towers today, but it could be Habitat for Humanity tomorrow.
We
right.
did bring that up.
Okay. So,
Mhm.
We're looking,
Again.
There are.
This is why we need a workshop. So we can all talk about this and have a free flowing exchange.
There,
of
there are,
ideas.
there are a lot of ideas that are already being kicked around in that kind of scenario. Knowing where you all are coming from and reading your, I won't say reading your minds, but understanding your drives on certain things, those things are brought up with myself, with Councilman Leonard, with the attorneys and stuff like, hey, what about these things? What about this? Can this be worked in? How do we work this kind of thing in? Because those are the things that I think all of us are looking at is it's something to help people get into their homes. How do we get them into that first time home? Or how do we get them into that? And that's what the help is.
And not being handcuffed by your own ordinance.
Correct.
Having the ability to do something without having 3 meetings in
Right.
first and second readings.
Right.
I love that.
So we're working on it and we will bring it back and have a workshop.
Fantastic. October, ahead of the October meeting.
And be assured, I'll reach out to all of you prior to that time.
Thank you.
So you have some idea of where we're going with it and get your input particularly.
Great. Because at the rate the city's growing, we'll have $3 million in that account before you know it. So, excellent. Any other comments, Mr. City Manager?
Yes, it's 7-Eleven. Did you get your free Slurpee this morning?
I did not.
After
They're
the
still
meeting.
open. They're still
After the
open.
meeting, I'll walk over there.
Is it free Slurpee day?
Yeah.
7-Eleven. 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven, you get a small Slurpee of your choice
Oh,
for free.
it's all over the place?
Every 7-Eleven supposedly. If you missed it, Subway
Oh, I didn't hear about
was
this one.
before, it stopped at noon. Up until noon, Subway was giving away a free half sub because they have gone to, they spent like $40 million buying slicing machines. They are now slicing their meats in store
Wow.
versus pre-sliced.
That ended today at noon?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for telling.
I didn't know it. Actually, at 11:55, I hear it on the radio, it's like, okay, so much for that one.
It's put that in your report,
But-
Mr. City Manager.
But again, there are things that are happening out there.
We don't have any Subways in Westlake.
No. And we're reaching out for other restaurants.
Excellent.
Council, before you continue, I need a little clarification on the EYAB matter. Will that be, is that tabled to the next meeting? Is there going to be further discussion at the next meeting?
What matter?
The education, EYAB, education.
I think that legal needed to prepare a resolution.
There is no action taken. It was brought up by me for discussion. I got a consensus where to go and we'll bring it back.
Okay, thank you. And then also, I need to just confirm the October meeting. The happy item, is that going to be a workshop right before the regular council meeting?
Correct.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any more comments about Subway, Mr.? No. No? Anything? All right, public comments and requests. This section of the agenda allows for comments from the public to speak. Each speaker will be given a total of 3 minutes to comment. A public comment card should be completed and returned to the city clerk. When you're called to speak, please go to the podium, unmute your device, and prior to addressing the council, state your name and address for the record. Madam Clerk, do we have any public comments?
We do, Mayor. We have a comment from Miss Jackie Campbell. You may go to the podium. You have 3 minutes. Please state your full name and your address.
Evening, Ms. Campbell.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Jackie Campbell. I live at 15938 Key Biscayne Lane in Crestwood. Before I start my 3 minutes, I have a question for the PBSO. Can I ask?
Sure.
Okay, so in Crestwood, our back gate is not yet functioning. It's not built yet. So at night, a GPS takes you back there. So people come into me, they come in the back gate. Is there any way of monitoring or helping us monitor that back gate? Because, it's, for us, it's not safe. People can come in and out at will.
I mean, we do patrol throughout the nights, throughout the shifts, so we don't have a deputy there. shift.
No, I understand, but
We do patrol throughout the city communities. Is that important?
well, we don't have one quite yet. It's Coulter that does the management.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, we're patrolling that. So
It's all right. I won't answer. Sorry.
if that answers your question. But I will definitely put out a extra patrol for that back gate to make sure that we don't have anybody trespassing and
Yeah.
things like that. So I'll put that out to our deputies that
Thank you.
patrol on the shift.
Thank you, because GPS actually sent you back there.
Right.
So it's really not, okay, appreciate that.
Maybe have the construction put up cones or something or a barrier at night that they can move every day.
I don't know, we'll have to find out, right?
Yeah, something that maybe that's like portable that they can at the end of their workday they can put it there and then during the during the day have it open, but maybe something like that.
Really Poulter that's leaving you exposed.
Yeah, well, Costa is not going to, we are going to have to initiate something with them because they're not really doing what we would do as a HOA.
So that's the Crestwind community.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right back here. Okay, my real issue, which the mayor is aware of, is transportation. I have a passion for that. I used to do that in another life as a volunteer somewhere. So I would like to know what plans, if any, since I brought up at the town hall meeting, if anything has been done or is been done for Westlake transportation.
Yeah, I'll take this one. So I actually had a meeting with Palm Tram here at the city. And their response was there are no plans currently to provide public transportation to this region right now solely because of the cost of doing so. The city itself would have to pay an obscene amount. I don't recall the exact numbers, but I can get them for you. And I could also put you in touch directly with him because he could explain it a lot better than I can. The closest thing that can possibly come is like a transportation on demand type program, similar to what they have out in Belglade. But they're really,
What is that? I'm not familiar.
it's almost like an Uber, but for Palm Tram. Because there are no routes, right? And he explained the whole situation to me. There's no way and or reason for them because of ridership to get from, say, North Lake, Seminole Pratt to Southern Seminole Pratt, or their closest. I think the closest Palm Tram was at the State College. That's the closest place. He explained it to me at length, and I was advocating exactly for what you were advocating. We have no public transportation out here, which means workers in restaurants and so on and so forth who might need public transportation to get out here don't have the ability to do so. The way it was explained to me was it's a dollar issue. It's a county dollar issue. The money's just not there. They're cutting transportation as it is because the cost of running these buses is more, it's just not viable from the way it was explained to me. They talked about a on-demand type program that could possibly work out here, but it would require a major partnership with the city. We just don't have the budget for that, barely. We were, it was millions of dollars. I mean, it was a lot. So at this point, unless, now what he did say was that the more advocacy from people like yourself going directly to the county, because that is truly who provides public transportation in the region is Palm Beach County. The more people showing up to county meetings, commission meetings, more chances of something getting done. But they wanted major dollars from the city, and we were in the red until just recently. So
Yeah, I actually plan.
Can I just
Sorry.
ask clarification? Are you concerned about a particular target population within the city?
I was gonna bring that up since the other one is not viable right now. As far as senior transportation specifically, since we can't do the bigger one yet, what can we do to help the seniors in the community? I live in a 55+ community. Is there anything, even to pay a small, it doesn't have to be an exorbitant amount, charge whoever it is a small amount of money if we could do some kind of
So I live in the Meadows. Palm Connection has two people they pick up there. And they have small buses. That falls under a different classification for transportation where they'll call ahead and have a set time, like I have a doctor's appointment, I need to go somewhere. And or they might go to the adult daycare center down on Northlake Boulevard, or even on Okeechobee. But that's a separate thing, but Palm Connection will pick up individuals in our city.
No, I called them because I was investigating for the first.
I
Prior.
interject really quickly. I could be wrong. I think that's directly tethered to disability.
Right. I was about to say that because I did some investigation prior.
So I know it picks up a couple people.
No,
Senior is
they have to be disabled. They have to be disabled before they pick you up. Yes. Yes. I looked into it extensively and they said, no, you have to be disabled. And if I need to get the Palm Tran, I need to walk to go to wherever they are, which doesn't make any sense. So,
Right. I definitely don't want it to seem like I'm passing the buck because I'm absolutely, the city doesn't have.
I understand that.
But I think as an advocacy issue with the county, you may be able to get some traction.
But Mr. Mayor,
Help.
I'm planning to do that. I'm still settling in, actually. I'm only here 3 months, but it's, that's me.
I'll show up
But-
at meetings with you. Tell me we need some help.
No, but I do plan to go because they gave me the information when I called up. And I think I gave you the name of the person I've spoken to at some point. So I plan to do that. Just a little bit of my background. From New York City. I was a board member, community board member. And I was able to get, through New York, my community, a bus line added because of my advocacy in Queens. So I've come here now and I realize, yes, it's not here. So I'm going to make sure it happens because we need it. I mean, I'm a fighter, so I'll make it happen. As much, but in the meantime, though, I think for seniors, in Kings Point, in Crestwind, a couple of you brought it up because I was, and said, Jackie, you're going to help us. And I said, I'm going to look into it because people need to go to the doctor. They can't drive or they can't get back home, just for seniors in the community. So if they're even like a minibus or something that can be, I'm just throwing it out there.
I wonder if there's any nonprofits that advocate for seniors with the exact.
Possibly. I know that the agent, they don't do that. They're the ones that first contacted the ARG, whatever it's called, the agent agency. And they said there's nothing that they can do.
I mean, I'm sure there's got to be, this has to be an issue that's not just exclusive to
Yeah.
our region.
Well, no, well, other places like I know in Broward, they have the TOPS program, which you pay them, you sign up, you might pay a small amount of money or a small $2, and they pick you up with an appointment and they come back and get you at a later time. Might be a long wait, but at least they pick you up.
I mean, I personally will commit to doing a little bit of research
Yeah.
myself to see if there is something
Mm-hmm.
for seniors. And then if you plan to go speak at a meeting or something,
I
let me
will.
know, because I'll go speak as the mayor as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm with you on this. I'm not against you. So, and I did meet with Palm Tran. I did have
Appreciate
the
that.
executive director here in chambers, actually at the city offices. And, I was advocating for some. relief.
Okay. Well, I know based on what I'm hearing, we might not be able to do an advisory board, but can we do some kind of a committee or something that can, if we can get people together who have the same mindset? Is that possible? And then report to you, the board,
She can have it
or the council?
Well, I mean, I don't think we need a full-blown committee, but I'm more than willing to, anybody you want to organize, if you want to organize some advocates.
I'll try.
Yeah.
I'll try.
100%.
Yeah. I'll try in Crestwind because I think we in Crestwind as old people. I'm not old, but I'm just saying. They call us old.
I certainly appreciate you coming in today and sharing
Yeah.
your concerns with us.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd heard them before, but the rest of the council, I'm sure, have not. I'm glad they got to meet you, hear from you.
Okay, so what is my next step? What should I be doing
I
next?
think go straight to the county.
Say it again?
Go to the county. The county is who actually runs Palmtran, and that's public transportation for the county. And they're the ones who don't have public transportation in this region. It's not just Westlake either. The
Mhm.
entire western
Western community.
community.
It's on this side.
Yeah, from North Lake that way. So, find out when the next there's a Palmtran board. I know that for a fact. I know that there's a, the county commission is who
TPC,
oversees,
TPC,
not the TPA.
TPA.
TPA doesn't do public. But there's an actual.
Yeah, I received the information when I initially, I just didn't follow through because I haven't had time. But I do want to follow up on this as an issue because I think it's important.
I agree.
Get
Yeah.
some friends.
And if I can, maybe get some contacts for you.
I appreciate that.
The director of Palmtran flat out told me that, like, unless major, fiscal
Corporation.
commitment from the city, that can't happen. He said, as an advocacy issue, like if enough people screamed and hollered, he said he's seen it get done that way before. So,
Okay,
but it's certainly a county issue, not a.
It is.
municipal.
okay, but I'm not giving up, just so you know.
Don't give up.
You hear this
Me too.
a few times more.
Fair enough.
All right, thank you.
Let us
Thank
know
you.
how you do. Let us know what they say.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
Any more public comments, Madam Clerk?
Yes, Mayor, you have a comment from Mr. Werner. Mr. Werner,
Mr. Werner.
take the podiums. You have 3 minutes.
As you tell, we really stick to those 3 minutes here.
No problem. First of all, my name is Gary Werner, 16005 Key Biscayne Lane, I guess down the street from Jackie. First, congratulations to the council and staff for a successful 4th of July event. It was very nice. I wanted to just supplement the lieutenant's report earlier. There's a new program that is operating in Westlake. It's the Citizens Observer Patrol, COP
Yep.
for short. It's operating with 15 volunteers at this point, most of whom are coming from the Crestwind community. The sheriff's office has provided the vehicle that is being parked at the Crestwind Clubhouse. The
Excellent.
volunteers organize and coordinate with the captain, one of our residents, and they go out on patrol, and their whole purpose is to patrol all of Westlake, not just Crestwind. And they go to the shopping area and they spend some time. They're just there to observe and call in to the sheriff's office if they see anything that is suspicious looking. And they've had one success so far with construction materials being lifted from some of the, they're going out mostly in the afternoon and evening when most of those activities usually take place. So I just want to let you know that we're doing our part as well
Excellent.
to help keep our community safe.
Great. Maybe,
Thank you.
maybe keep an eye on that back Crestwind gate
Yeah.
too.
They do,
Excellent.
but they drive through it and then that's it.
Well, are you one of them? Are you doing it?
I wanted to be, my wife wouldn't let me be on it. I'm involved in too many activities at this point. So, but I have I pay close attention to what's going on there.
Fantastic.
And I have several of my resident friends there that are involved and I keep in touch with them and up to date.
Mr. Winter, thank you.
All right.
I knew it
Thank
was
you.
getting off the ground. I didn't know you guys hit the.
It's
50
already on the ground.
15
We're
people that
operating
you
and
needed. I know there
it's,
was,
so far it's working with 15, but it's growing.
Right.
Good.
Awesome. That's great.
Wonderful. Thank you
Good.
so much. Excellent. Any other public comments?
I had a question about,
Excuse me, sir, if you would continue with the public comments, then maybe come back.
Okay. Any more public comments?
Mayor, I received no additional public comment cards. We'll give the virtual audience a moment to raise their virtual hand. If you wish to make a comment as a virtual attendee, please raise your virtual hand or unmute your device, state your name and address. No additional comments, Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I'm going to recognize Councilman Martinez. I believe he has a
I
question.
had a question about the Crestwin. The Crestwin issue is there is a back gate? There is no back
It's
gate,
supposed to
period.
be. It's just wide open.
Opening driveway for construction.
Oh, it's wide open. Okay,
And the developer has not erected the gate at this point.
understood. Okay. That was my question.
Excellent. I'm going to adjourn at 7:35 PM.
Awesome.
Thank you, everybody.
I know you're looking out for all of them.
We're almost not about to make that one.
I understand.
You are so welcome. So welcome.